Welcome to A Few Thoughts About, the show where we dig into thinking and how it shapes our experience of life. Each week, I share insights and observations to get you thinking. No long lectures, just quick, thought-provoking episodes to shift perspectives so that you can make the change you want to make. Let's get into it. Hey, before we get started, I want to ask for your help with something. I love answering questions, right? I love putting this Q&A shows together, and I'm looking to do one before the end of this year. So this is coming out toward the end of October. So I would love to have a Q&A show sometime by the end of the year. But in order to give you A's, I need Q's. So I want to ask you, what is on your mind? What questions do you have for me? What questions would you like answered? It can be on anything, except politics. I won't answer politics questions. But other than that, please send me your questions. I actually have a site set up where you can do exactly that. If you go to scottpinier.com/podcast, there's an opportunity there where you can submit a question. Please do that. I'd like to have all question submissions in by the end of November. And then during December, I will put together a mega Q&A episode. It might be long. It might even be 2 different episodes. But either way, I'd love to be able to answer your questions. So again, it's scottpinier.com/podcast. The link's also in the show notes. Head over there. Send me a question. I'll get you an answer. Let's do the show. Well, hello there, and welcome to A Few Thoughts About Comparison. You do that thing and you say a word enough, it starts to sound weird. I feel like that might have just happened to me. But this week, I want to talk about comparison. I want to talk about measuring yourself against someone else. Measuring your success against someone else's success, taking what you see someone else do and making it mean something about your own journey. Now, this is very understandable, right? It is something we all do. I do it. Everyone does it. And you can see why, right? It seems like we're all humans and so we're all the same, right? It's really simple, right? I'm a human. You're a human. If this works for you, it should work for me. That's some logic for you there. And it's the way that people look at a lot of things. And so we'll talk about it specifically with drinking, but this is true in so many areas of life, right? This is true with financial progress. This is true with career progress. This is true with building relationships, with making any sort of a change, with growing and being as a human, right? This is true with everything. So we think we should be able to do it. Just because someone else did means we should, and it should be easy. And it should be as easy as it seems that it was for them. And so what starts to happen is we go to make a change like quitting drinking, and we see someone say, all right, this is my last day. I'm not drinking again for another 6 months. And then they do it, right? Then they go 6 months. Maybe they even go a year. Maybe they go 5 years. And we look at this person and we're like, oh my God, how come they can do it and I can't? And here's where we really go off the path. What is wrong with me that I can't get that sort of success? This is very common. And chances are, if you think about your own journey, that's going to be the case. I know that was a thing for me. Before I stopped comparing and started using other people's stories as hope, I spent a lot of time, listening to other people's success stories and basically just being like, well, good for them. That ain't going to happen for me. I used to think that. I used to watch the show Intervention. I don't know if you've probably seen Intervention, right? It's that show. I think it was on A&E. I don't even know if it's still on. But they would give people who were addicted to things it would be like a documentary, and they would follow them around and then eventually give them an opportunity to go to rehab. And I would see people do it. I would see people that were so much farther down the road than me. And they would say, yes, I'll go to treatment. And I'll be like, well, I can never do that. Wow. Easy for them, right? It was this constant comparison of my journey to other people's journey. And here's the thing, right? That as soon as we start comparing ourselves to other people, we are not comparing apples to apples. Your experience, what you have been through, your unique human lifetime is unique in the sense that you are the only one who has ever had it. Not a single person in the history of the world has ever or will ever have the exact same experience that you have. What this means is that your experience in changing your relationship with alcohol, your experience with losing weight, your experience with building the sort of life you want to live, whatever that looks like for you, is going to be uniquely different. And while it is true, certainly if you're with Sam and Ellie and I in the membership and we have these conversations and we talk about, how similar everyone is, there's a lot of overlap, but there is also way more individuality to the point where comparison is kind of silly, right? Like I see people do it all the time and they're like, well, this person just read a book and quit drinking and isn't that good for them? Well, what you don't know, you don't know what the previous 10 years of trying was like for that person, right? We assume that other people are, I'm doing air quotes that you can't see, better at this or more able to change than we are. But in reality, we're just seeing the outside. And in even more reality, and I don't know if that's a saying, but in even more reality, it is literally impossible for us to compare because whatever sort of life they lived, right? Whatever it was that they went through, their unique human experience is going to be different than our unique human experience. And while there is a lot of commonality, it also means that for some things like this, there's going to be some wild differences. One of the things we've all heard, and I usually try to avoid cliches, but comparison is the thief of joy, right? Comparison is the thief of joy. And what the hell does that mean? Well, what that means is that the second we start comparing ourselves with someone else, we're not going to be happy with where we're at, right? We're not going to be able to experience the contentment and joy that is inherent, that I would even argue is our birthright, right? Like we're not going to be able to experience that because we are making this comparison. And here's the reality. I don't care who you are. You will always find someone to compare yourself against that is quote unquote further along than you or quote unquote better than you at whatever it is you're comparing. And you'll always find someone who is quote unquote behind you on the path or quote unquote worse than you at whatever this change is that you're making. You'll always be able to. But the thing is, humanity is not a race, right? This job of ours of living and experiencing our lives, it's not about how quickly I do something. It's not about, oh man, everyone else quit and I didn't. It's not about that. It's about your own unique experience. And so comparison stops us from being able to actually experience our own unique experience. I use that word a lot, but you know what I mean, right? Like it stops us from being able to actually dig in, to actually enjoy, to actually have the sort of human present experience that we're literally built to have. So while comparison is really tempting, and there's a whole bunch of reasons. I mean, hell, social media is built to make you compare yourself to other people, feel shitty about it, and then buy whatever they're trying to sell, right? It's built to make you do this. And the reality is that comparison is a complete waste of time. Comparison is a great way for you to start to feel bad about yourself and stop making progress. That person, whoever you're comparing yourself to, that person is on their journey. You are on your journey. You have your own uniquely unique expression in life. You have had your own uniquely unique experience in life. So much so that comparing yourself to someone else doesn't even make sense. It's like, I don't know, it's like comparing apples to oranges, right? So what do we do? Right? This brings us around to the what do I do about it, Scott, section of the podcast. And it's a great question. As soon as you start finding yourself comparing yourself to other people, no matter what it is, if it's this idea of like, oh man, someone quit drinking so much earlier than me, or oh man, like they're losing weight and I can't. As soon as you become awake to that happening, your job when you start comparing is to wake up to the fact that like it's useless, that like it doesn't actually get you anywhere, right? And there's a really easy way to see this, right? You can look around. You'll notice if you look at everyone you know, you're going to be comparing yourself to the people who are further ahead than you, not the people who are, still working to get to where you're at, right? You'll see like, oh, I'm using this as a tool to beat myself up. Your job, if you feel like comparing, stop comparing yourself to other people. Again, it's not apples to apples, right? Everyone has their own unique experience. And so being able to compare two people doesn't make sense. But you know what does make sense? Compare yourself to yourself. Compete with yourself. So, one of the ways that I'll see people do this, like I had a client recently who was really struggling getting past, I think it wasn't quite 2 weeks. So it was like 12 days. And it was this number that she just kept hitting over and over. She would get to day 13, lucky 13. And something would happen and it was just sort of mental block for her. And she would say to me things like, my God, like I talk to people in the membership all the time and they are like months and months and months alcohol free. What is wrong with me? Right. And we took this reframe and we talked about this fact that those people are not her. And so comparing it doesn't even really make sense. So why doesn't she compare herself to herself? And so we looked at how many alcohol-free days she had over the previous month. And then we said, all right, let's see what we do this month. And then she compared her version of herself in whatever that was, June of 2025 with the version of herself in July of 2025. And she saw that growth. She saw that moving in the right direction. Being able to compare yourself with yourself, being able to actually do that shows you the progress you're making. And by the way, even if the number of drinking days go up, if you are doing this work, I promise you, you are making progress in some sort of area. I see people all the time who like the number of drinking days go up, but the amount of drinking has gone down dramatically, right? Or maybe the number of drinking days stays the same, but the amount they drink goes down. That is progress. The second you start comparing yourself with yourself instead of other people, you set yourself up to win. You set yourself up to create the sort of feelings and emotions that are going to make you want to keep going. They're going to make you want to keep moving down this road. They're going to make you want to make the sort of change that you're seeing in other people. And on top of all of that, you're going to let go of all of the head trash that comes with constantly comparing yourself. It's not worth it. Trust me. Like I've been there. My clients have been there. And as soon as you let go of it, things can feel so much better. Well, that is it for me. Let me know what you think. scottpenier.com/podcast. Go on over there. Remember, you can submit questions for me for my big old Q&A episode that's going to be happening toward the end of the year. So scottpenier.com/podcast. You can send me a note and say hello. You can submit your questions. You can submit topic ideas, whatever you would like to do. I would love to hear from you. That is it for me. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll be back next week.